Hi everyone, I'm Jeanette, founder of eTail Maven eCommerce Consulting. In the last video, I covered conversion rate, which is one of the most important KPIs or key performance indicators to track in order to measure the success of your e-commerce business. Before that, we talked about sales. In this video, I will cover all the other website metrics that are important to track so that you can measure the health of your online business and know which levers to pull to help you reach your goals. Before any sale happens on the website, you need people to visit your website. We call them visitors or users, and more generally, traffic. The visitor count that we want to track should be unique, meaning even if someone came to your site more than once, they are only counted as one visitor during whichever time period you are measuring. So unique visitors for the day, the week, the month, or the year is the standard metric we use. Most e-commerce platform built-in web analytics tools use the terms visits and visitors. Google Analytics, of course, has to be different. You won't see visits or visitors in their tool. You will see users, defined as a user who has at least one session. So in other words, Google's users are visitors. And sessions defined as the time frame that a user is engaged with a website. So in other words, Google sessions are visits. Thanks for keeping things confusing, Google. Okay, so we know how much we have in demand sales, and now we know how many people come to the site. Let's fill in the blanks with how we get from visitor to buyer. Just for kicks, pull the two metrics for last week, demand sales and visits. Divide your sales by the visits to get dollars per visit. I bet it's a pretty small number, no? The reason it's so small is because most of the people visiting your website don't purchase. Shocking, I know. Well, a certain percentage of site visitors will arrive at your website and leave before even clicking on anything. We call those bounces. We count the number of visits that only view one page, don't engage with anything on the page, and then leave your site. When we take that count and divide it by the visitor count, we get the bounce rate percentage. Hot tip, this math comes out to a decimal number. To get the percentage you are after on a calculator, you want to enter number of bounces divided by number of visitors, and then press the percentage sign instead of the equal sign, and you will have your percent. If you'd rather, you can still press the equal sign and forget what I just said, but you'll need to multiply by 100 to get the percentage. The term rate means the figure is a percentage. Industry standard bounce rate for an e-commerce website is 35 to 40%. Seems like a lot, huh? Well, it gets worse. So after the bounce traffic leaves your website, you are left with about 60 to 65% of that original traffic. Sadly, most of these visitors will exit the website before making a purchase as well. Only about 2% of the traffic visiting your website will make a purchase. Yep, that's it. So what causes so many to leave and not purchase? Well, in many cases, it's just the nature of online shopping. The visitor is just browsing with no intent to purchase, or they're comparison shopping and haven't made up their mind. Nothing you can control. However, in other cases, it's something to measure and to fix on the website. One of the metrics we look at to see if something can be fixed is site load time. You know, when you go to a website and it doesn't appear right away, or only some of the things on the page appear and you have to wait for the rest? That wait time is the site load time. The average customer's expectation is that a site load in 2 seconds or less. If your site load time is longer than 2 seconds, it's likely causing potential customers to leave your website and for you to be missing out on business. Culprits like video autoplay, large image files, subpar hosting environments, and code-heavy homepages can all increase site load times. Another metric to look at is the shopping cart abandonment rate. This is the percentage of visitors who add to their bag but do not check out. The way you calculate it is on this slide. The average abandoned cart rate is 70%. If your abandoned cart rate is higher than this, you can likely take strategic measures to to fix it. Some culprits could be sticker shock with prices or shipping costs, complicated or confusing checkout pages, or problems with your mini cart. There's a number of possible challenges, and well worth the investment to have an expert take a look. Okay, so we've whittled down total site visitors by bounces, by site exits, and by abandoned carts, which leaves us with actual buyers. Yay! These are the unique visitors that made a purchase, and they amount on average to only 2% of website visitors. This percentage is called the conversion rate, which I covered in the last video. I have managed businesses where the conversion rate was as high as 9%. And with so many more people shopping online due to COVID, I would expect that we will see a new norm with the average being above the 2% it's been for the last 2 decades. In the past, 2/3 of the sales influenced by e-commerce websites have occurred in stores. Only 1/3 happened on the website itself. Today, with COVID influencing things, that is shifting a bit as more people forgo the store and check out online. It will be interesting to see how this metric benchmark evolves and if it sustains after a vaccine becomes readily available and shopping in stores no longer as risky of a proposition with contracting COVID. So I would say, if you aren't seeing your conversion rate in the 2 to 3% range, then there are likely user experience challenges on your website. They could be simple things to fix and result in a dramatic incremental lift in sales overnight that would carry forward until you anniversary the fix a year later. Imagine going from down double digits to up double digits versus last year overnight from fixing something simple on your website. Incredible, right? Well, I had a client who did just that. I conducted a user experience assessment for this client and found several easy issues to address. They made the changes, and their conversion increased by more than 40% overnight. The easiest way to capture business you may be leaving on the table is with a professional user experience assessment. So if you aren't seeing conversion rates of 2 to 3%, if you are seeing bounce rates over 40%, if you are seeing shopping cart abandonment rates above 70%, then you want to uncover why and what can be done about it. This is what I mean when I say we use these metrics or KPIs to measure the health of the business. Analyzing the performance can reveal where issues lie so you can address them and improve your business. If you aren't measuring your performance, and these KPIs in particular, then you wouldn't even know if you were leaving business on the table. All of the metrics we've covered should be found in your website platform analytics tool. You should not need Google Analytics for these metrics. However, if for any reason your platform doesn't have an analytics tool, then hopefully Google Analytics is set up and you can find these metrics in there. Just be aware of the different naming conventions and possibly different data to calculate the metrics. Follow this page for more e-commerce words of wisdom in my quarantine series. If you have an e-commerce topic you wish I would cover, please add it to the comments below for me to consider. Stay healthy, folks.